We are going to be trying out making the viral mushroom guy. Now, I have been excited for this pattern for a really long time. Last year, this pattern went very viral and a lot of people made him. It is now 2025 and I want to make this guy. I think it is going to be so stinking cute. Now, this pattern is created by Stephanie Buckner. She is the owner of Critter Stitch Designs, which is her small business where she creates crochet patterns. If you are interested in this pattern, she has it sold on multiple sites, such as her website, her Etsy, and a Ravelry. So if you also want to make a mushroom guy with me, let's go ahead and jump right in. It is 11 pages long and there is so many details. I feel like this is going to be a very good pattern. Now, I'm just reading over everything first. I feel like this pattern is going to take me a while to make because hers just looks so tiny, right? But I feel like worked up in plush yarn, which is my favorite type of yarn, I feel like it's going to come out quite big and I am here for it, okay? I'm here for it. So as I'm looking at her pattern, I noticed that she uses a 2mm crochet hook. If you don't know, that's a very small hook. So her stitches are so tiny. I am so excited to see how big and jumbo this guy is going to be because I plan on using a 6mm crochet hook, which is 3 times the size. This is honestly just getting me even more hyped. Like I am so excited. And if you're wondering about the difficulty level, it is for an experienced beginner. Okay, I was just searching to see what yarn we're going to be needing, and it looks like we are going to be needing 3 shades. We are going to be needing his body color / also his spots, and we're going to be needing his frill color, and we are going to be needing a mushroom cap color. So yay! I really want to make a red mushroom too. So we're definitely gonna be picking out a red yarn, but we're gonna have to see what we have because I don't know what we have right now. So let's go pick out our colors together. Welcome to my yarn wall. Let's go ahead and pick out our yarn colors. I already know I want to make this in like Sweet Snuggles / like Parfait Plush probably. This was the exact color I was thinking that would be best for the body because it's just such a light cream color, and I also have so much of this yarn. This is Sweet Snuggles Light in the shade Winter White. When it comes to the frill, I'm thinking either one of these colors. For some reason, I'm just not super loving this one because it has like kind of an ashy grayish look to it. So I think we're gonna go with this light brown color. Now it's time for the mushroom cap, which I think is honestly the funnest part. So we have to pick out a good color for this. Here is the 2 reds that I have. I have this like deep burgundy red, which I think is quite lovely. And then I have this really bright red. I feel like this bright red isn't super the vibe that I want. I feel like I would prefer the burgundy. Let's see. We don't have a lot though, so I'm hoping that'll be enough. Let me just check something. Oh, we have another one back there. Okay, we have 2 skeins. Well, actually, it's probably closer to just 1 skein. It's not that much. Chenille Home Slim, and it is the shade Rhubarb. So we are going to be using this. So I guess we're going to be using a combination of Chenille Home Slim and Sweet Snuggles. So here's our official color palette. I think this is going to look great. Oh, that's the thing about Sweet Snuggles, y'all. It's hard to close a magic loop and it sheds a bit. I feel like this is the perfect like fall project. Like, is there anything more perfect? I guess maybe if I were to do more like Halloween stuff, but I kind of wanted to do something that was just like more generally fall and not necessarily related to Halloween. And this is also just more of a fun like personal project. Like I'm probably still gonna sell this guy at the end, but this is for me, you know? This is like a little reward to myself because I've been working pretty hard just like making new patterns and working on videos and stuff. And I mean, technically I'm making a video for you guys right now. But I don't know, this feels different. Getting a lot of stuff done and just meeting deadlines and things. And yeah, I feel like this is a much needed, like, just fun little project for me, or I guess I shouldn't say little because I feel like this guy is gonna be pretty big. I'm hoping that he's quite jumbo. I guess we'll see. I think we'll really know when we finish his head about his approximate size. He came out in October of 2024, and I don't know, I must have been too busy at that time. Like, I remember seeing him, but I just did not have the time to actually make him. So I'm so glad that we were setting time aside this fall so that we can make our own mushroom guy during fall. Like, yes. Let me know down below, what is your favorite season? If I had to pick up my favorite season, like, I've been like hyping up fall, but really summertime is my favorite season. I just love when you can go outside and do things and it's hot and it's like, you know, perfect like swimming weather and stuff. Like, I love summertime, but fall is also nice. I feel like I appreciate each of the seasons for different reasons. I feel like they all are like, they all have their own like specialness to it. Like winter, you get snow. Fall, the leaves change color and it's just so beautiful. In spring, the flowers bloom. Like, it's also like, I like all the seasons, okay? I like all of them. So I'm gonna continue working on this head right now. And I think in the meantime, I want to watch like a fun movie. Honestly, I'm thinking about watching a Studio Ghibli movie because I just love Studio Ghibli and I feel like that is like the vibe that I'm in right now. Listen, I want to be in like a very comfy slash like cozy kind of vibe, and Studio Ghibli is the epitome of comfy and cozy, okay? It's also just beautiful. I love Studio Ghibli so much. Okay, I'm thinking it's either between Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle. I love both of those. Those are my two favorite Studio Ghibli movies. So let's get crocheting this head and I'm gonna watch one of those.
I've always hated turnips, ever since I was little. When you're old, all you want to do is stare at the ceiling.
As you can see, I've picked out some eyeballs. They are not secured yet though. I waited to secure them with you guys. So let's go ahead and get to securing these eyes and embroidering his mouth. I also grabbed a little bit of black yarn so that we can give him a little mouth. This is about 45 minutes of work for me. And I know that because that's about as far as I am inside of my movie. Both eyes are officially secured. Let's go ahead and give him a little mouth now. Oh my gosh. You know, I said he was gonna be big, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he was gonna be this big. So he's gonna be pretty big. How big is his body? I am so excited for this. I am so glad that I chose this color, by the way, because I have like 4 skeins of this, so I think it'll be enough. I already used quite a bit of it though. Like, I mean, maybe like a third of this on the head, and I had used also some scraps for the first few rounds. So this guy's gonna be jumbo. But now that we've finished the head, it's time to continue on to the body. But I have somewhere to go. So I think we are going to be doing some car crochet today. So let's go ahead and get in the car and let's get back to working on this body. We just got back from getting some lunch and I wanted to show you exactly what I completed while we were, sorry. My cat loves polyfill bags. Really squishy, so he likes to like make biscuits and stuff on it. Very cute, but also very noisy. But I just wanted to show you guys what I completed while we went to go grab some lunch. So let me just grab it. So I made 2 arms. We need to stuff them. We have 2 arms and we have 1 leg. So we need to make another leg and then we're going to connect the legs and we're going to continue on to the body. As you can see, I put my hair into a braid before I came back here because I live in North Carolina and it is very humid here. We are technically in the South, and in the South, the humidity is typically a bit higher, and I have naturally curly hair and so the humidity just gets my hair like crazy. I used to always relate to Hermione inside of the Harry Potter books. I feel like in the movies you can't tell as much that her hair is frizzy except for in the first couple movies. But in the books, which I've read all of them, I grew up loving reading in general, and the Harry Potter books was my favorite series to read. And Hermione's hair was always described as very frizzy. So I used to really relate to that because I was like, my hair is always really frizzy. And I was fortunate that where I lived was actually quite dry, like there wasn't a lot of humidity. But now where I live is quite humid, so it kind of just makes my hair go crazy. And we were sitting outside, which was absolutely lovely. Like the weather is perfect today. I don't know if I could have asked for any better weather, honestly. And how we're doing on time is I finished about all of this in about 45 minutes, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I really wasn't keeping a super close track of time, but I'm going to continue on finishing up my movie. So I'm going to begin watching that as we continue crocheting up the body.
If I just hang a little curtain here, maybe no one will notice.
I told you it would collapse.
Okay. We have reached the end of the skein. I kind of want to keep the tag on this time, so let's try and center pull real quick. Let's see if we can do a good job. Oop. Ah, hey, that's not too shabby. That was pretty good. So let me show you exactly what we have done. We're almost done with the body. So here's it. This is the butt. I feel like she did a really good job shaping it because look at that. So he's gonna have two arms, and then we also have the head. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Do you see him? He's so cute. But that is 3 hours of work. That's what 3 hours of work looks like. And I'm not including like my breaks or anything. This is truly just like literally 3 hours of crochet. It's been nice to kind of take my mind away and just do just follow another person's pattern. It's also a super like easy pattern. I would say it's beginner friendly. I think the mushroom cap's probably going to be the most difficult part because if you're a beginner, then maybe different stitches might be a little complicated. I remember like I used to be, when I first started crocheting, I was a little bit scared of doing like double crochet and half double crochet, just a little bit complicated, like more complicated stitches, but it's really not too bad, especially if you follow along with a YouTube tutorial. If you are a beginner, just follow along with YouTube tutorials. You can literally type in how to do double crochet and there is so many videos available to you. Videos definitely helped me learn how to crochet, and I highly, highly recommend if you don't know how to do a certain stitch or you don't know how to do something, YouTube a video on it and it will help you right out, okay? That's my little secret to how I learned a lot of stuff. Polyfill. I'm gonna make sure I stuff these little feet because they're kind of pointy. I feel like I could totally see the polyfill just working its way up in the future. So I'm gonna try to stuff these feet really firmly to help out with that. He has a little like belly, which is so cute. And then you can totally tell that this is his butt back here. Oh my gosh. The shaping is just too good. Wow. Let's finish this up. Body is now done. It looks it looks so strange. I was about to start sewing everything together when I realized I need to make the frill first. So I'm grabbing my brown yarn and we are going to go ahead and begin on making that little frilly piece that goes around the neck. It's gonna be cute. Look at that, that's crazy. And then the head goes on like that. He is longer than my torso. That's crazy. Look at that. He's so big. Let's make his frill. Let's begin on the frill and then we can begin sewing him together. 5, 6, 7. He is just missing his mushroom now, his actual like little top of his head. Oh my gosh, but he is so cute and so stinking big. All right, let's shape his like face a little bit together though. Here's his face before shaping, and here is after. It kind of gives him a little bit of a little like, not a nose, but you know, a little something something. All right, so now it is time for his mushroom hat. Yay! This is what we've all been waiting for. It's time to give you your mushroom hat. I have a sneaking suspicion that this mushroom hat is going to take a while to make. And the sun is just about down. So we need to turn on some lights in here and we gotta get to work on it. So let's begin our mushroom hat finally. And I believe we start with the underside of the hat first. So we'll be using this brown yarn to start out.
Well, I think this is the picture of real Snow White. Or maybe it's I'm ready. I know why Crane really
What's going on? Right? What?
I was hoping maybe Holly could help me.
I spent most of my night working on the mushroom part. I keep calling it the mushroom, but I guess I should call it like the mushroom cap, the, you know, the top. And let me show you what I finished. I am not completely done yet. We still have some work to do, but let me show you. Look how big it is. It's so big, and I absolutely like love how this looks. I really like the design and the method that she used to make this like underside because it was rather simple. I think the most sewing we're going to have is actually going to be with this guy, like sewing this onto the head. But there's a part of me that kind of wants to do it a little bit differently. And I kind of want to make it a removable hat. Mainly because my husband thought that he said that he thought it'd be really cool if it was removable. What do you think? I feel like I could wear this to a Renaissance fair, like very easily. No one would bat an eyelash at me. At this point, like, I mean, I know it's not completely done, but I can 100% recommend this pattern. It is a solid pattern and it deserves all the hype that it's gotten. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm going to use the body color for these spots that are going to be on our mushroom cap. Okay, there we go. There's a little bit less glare on my glasses, so now I can tell you about my day. It is almost 1 o'clock. I was planning on starting on this mushroom boy like early this morning. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning, got ready for my day, and by the time I was ready for the day, it was like 9 o'clock, and I packed up some orders to take out to the post office. I stopped and grabbed coffee. I dropped off those orders at the post office. And then I was like, okay, I need to do some grocery shopping. When I went grocery shopping, that's when everything went wrong. And at first, everything was normal, okay? Everything was normal. People were shopping, they were checking out, everything was going fine. And then I started to notice that there was a few more employees than normal, like with carts. And I was like, that's weird. They're like putting away things. Weird, but you know, not too weird. I was like, okay, maybe they got behind, right? Or maybe it's busy, which it wasn't too busy, but it was a little bit busy. It was a big grocery shopping day. So it took me like an hour, hour and a half to get all of my groceries. I went to go stand in line, which I was like, wow, there's a lot of people in line. Like, is something like wrong? like what is going on. And I noticed that some of the employees were on their phones. And I was like, oh no, like what is happening now? And then an overhead like announcement comes on, and the lady says that the registers have no power. So everyone was just waiting for these registers, that there was no power. And I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I've actually been in that circumstance before. I used to work at JCPenney when I was younger, and I loved working at JCPenney. But one day our power went completely out of the entire building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And customers were getting angry. There's a lot of people who were like, well, I guess it's free if you can't check me out, which isn't true. Like, I can't let you just leave with your goods. I feel like I wasted like so much time at the grocery store, which I feel like is the biggest bummer about it, because I truly value my time. I don't have a lot of it because I am consistently like doing things like constantly, but I was like, it's okay, like I'll just wait a little while. Maybe the registers will open back up soon. Like, I'm sure it can't be that big of a thing. But then I started to notice more and more people that were leaving, and then I really decided to leave when they put a police officer at the front of the store, and the police officer was turning away customers. So I was like, oh my gosh, like how long is this going to take? Like, this could take all day. So I texted my husband, and he was like, you know what, why don't you just order groceries through like another store? And at first I was stubborn. I was like, no, I can wait, like it's not that big of a deal. But after seeing the police officer out front and customers being turned away, I was like, maybe this is gonna take a little longer than I am prepared to wait. And my phone was dying. It was on 3% while I was in the store. At one point while I was waiting, this guy, like another customer, walked over to me and was like, you're too beautiful not to be smiling. And I'm like, I really wish I had a phone right now so that I could like distract myself a little bit, because I always feel so uncomfortable. Oh, I just realized we have all 5 of our small ones done. Now it's time to make the bigger ones. I am definitely a very shy person, and I can be pretty awkward in like IRL. So I don't know, I feel like just uncomfortable. And when that guy said that, I didn't really say anything. I just kind of looked at him and awkwardly smiled, because what am I supposed to do? I don't know. What are you supposed to do when someone walks up to you and they tell you you need to smile more? 1, 2, 3. Here's a comparison. Small versus big. We're gonna have these 2 different sizes. So I decided to go ahead and leave my stuff behind. And I asked an employee where I should like leave my cart and stuff, and I told them that I hope that their day gets better, because I know what that's like when your system isn't working, and then sometimes people start getting mad and stuff. But literally, like, what are they supposed to do about it? Like, it's not her fault that the system is messed up, you know? But I also understand why customers are upset, because you know, you have only so much time in a day, and it kind of sucks when your routine is like thrown off, you know? Instead of going to another store, I decided it was time for me to come home, and I ordered all of my groceries. Yeah, they're gonna be here in an hour or 2. So we got it done. But this is my first time ever ordering groceries on DoorDash, and I gotta say, it's like dangerously easy. Like we can't make a habit of this, because it does cost more money, but it's so convenient and easy. My groceries are gonna be here in an hour or 2, and that was like the amount of time that I went grocery shopping. And it only took me like maybe less than 10 minutes to pick out all my groceries and submit order. So I don't know. We're not gonna make a habit of it, but let's go ahead and just finish up making all of these things. While I was talking to you, I finished 2 of the big ones. I think we need to make 5 more. So let's finish those up, and then we need to get into sewing those onto the mushroom cap.
Is no longer thirsty. Ken is no longer thirsty. Timmy is no longer thirsty. Timmy has run of survival. Everyone seems fine. I don't understand. So there was no one knocking sick, not hungry. Mary Jane was very hungry. I don't have any burden.
If I were to do this again, I would definitely just hot glue this on because it was a little bit of a nightmare because my yarn was like shedding all over the place, hence this guy, see? But we are just about done. Look at that. Look at that. That looks great. Ah! It looks even cuter now. Okay, so I've decided instead of just sewing this right onto him, I am going to go ahead and try to make this into like a little hat. I don't know, I do kind of like the idea of it being like removable, you know? Like I kind of like the idea of like having a removable hat. I would show you it right now, like put it on his head and show you, but then I feel like that'll spoil the final reveal. So I'm not going to do that. But let's go ahead and stuff this little mushroom cap real quick, and then let's close her up. Also, I forgot to mention to you guys, I don't know if you saw this while I was sewing. When I was crocheting up this red yarn, look what happened to my nails. The yarn dyed my fingernails a little bit more red. I feel like you can notice it a lot more on the tips of the fingers than you can like on the actual nail. I thought that was weird. So I thought I'd tell you about it. Well, let's go ahead and stuff this mushroom cap and then close her up. And I think next time I see you guys, I will see you for the final reveal. Look at him! He's so cute! Look how big he is! He's so stinking big! He's not even baby sized. He's like toddler sized. He's actually quite heavy too. He's so cute! Like, are you kidding me? This is adorable. And look what I can do. His hat is removable. And it does fit my head. I'm wearing a bun, so it's a little hard to put it on. Absolutely love this texture. I love how his little frilly part worked out, and his face and his body. Look, he's got buns. I want to mention with the hat. So I modified the hat. This does not come with the pattern. I just want to show you kind of what I did. So instead of leaving it open, I ended up crocheting around for a few rounds, and then I slowly did like decreases and stuff until it completely closed up. It does not hold on to the head like super well. It does actually sit, it fits his head like perfectly, like but it also is kind of heavy, so you'll kind of see like his head is like that, does this kind of thing. I doubt I will make another mushroom guy, but if I were to, I would probably do a stick right in the center so that he has like a little like support on the inside, just because of the heaviness of this mushroom. He's a little top heavy, okay? He's just a little bit top heavy. Honestly, I think he might be the cutest thing I've ever made. I'm obsessed with you. Oh my gosh, he is so cute. And I forgot to mention, with the hat, because I did use a super bulky yarn, there was quite a bit of gapping that was occurring. So I ended up lining this with fabric. I'll put a little clip of me right here doing it. But I lined the inside of the brown part with fabric, and then I hot glued it down where the like single crochets are, where the stitches are a little bit tighter. That way, if you like poke your finger in, all you can really feel is that fabric on the inside. So the filling, the actual like stuffing, isn't able to fall out of the gaps. Stop, I'm obsessed. How am I supposed to ever say goodbye to him? I honestly, guys, I might be keeping him. A lot of times I will like sell most of my plushies. Most of the things that I make, I end up selling. But honestly, I don't know if I can say goodbye to him. He is so cute, and I love his little mushroom hat. And you know, if I decide to keep him, I might even wear this hat to a Renaissance fair, because there is a Renaissance fair that is just beginning in my city, or it's about to begin, or it already began. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll meet someone else who knows how to crochet and we can talk about my little crochet hat. I think that would be so fun. Let me just focus for a second. So this whole video was about making this guy, and I just have to mention, I 100% recommend this pattern. It is a really good pattern. I think it's really easy to follow along with, and I like the way that it is designed. Now, I did mention like a couple of things like the gaps and stuff, but this pattern is made for a very thin yarn. So if you were using a thinner yarn, you wouldn't end up with this gapping. If you use like the yarn that she mentions inside of the pattern, you would be all fine. You wouldn't have to line it or do anything like that. I just did that because I used such a bulky yarn. And I kind of wanted a big size. I didn't think he was gonna be this big, but I wanted kind of a jumbo plushie, and I surely did get one. I think only if you decided to size him up like I did would you have these similar struggles. But again, they are self-inflicted and on purpose. It did make him a little bit more time consuming to make, but it's really not a big deal. I'm so happy with the finished result. Oh, and I wanted to mention how long he actually took me to make. And I am not including me lining the cap because that's not something everyone would do, but I would say that lining the cap took me like at least an hour or two, probably like 9 to 10 hours to make him, which is quite a long time. But also for his size, I feel like that's not that bad. If you include all of my breaks, and like I have to take breaks, right? I can't just crochet constantly. But he did take me 2 days of pretty consistent work. He just turned out so cute. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. That will let me know that you like this video, you want me to make more content like this. Should we try and make another viral pattern? I don't know, I think it could be fun. Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think he turned out adorable? Do you like the hat idea? Or should I have left it like as it is in the pattern where it's sewn onto the head? Let me know what you're thinking. I love you guys. Happy crocheting and bye.